Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Codex podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. Joining me today, as usual, are my two co-hosts, Jamie Wojcik and Tim Morse.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Codex podcast. My name is Tim. That guy over there is Jamie. Down below is Sonny. This is a beautiful Wednesday, a runny, muddy Wednesday.
Better than the
Jamie-
pre-show. We're doing
Jamie, you're
good.
back. You're back, Jamie.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am back and sick. And this is great, but I'm back, so I don't really care. Let's just get the show on the road. It's going to be a good one. Got a lot in store for you guys today. A lot of news coming down on the rundown.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of muddy and,
Slide
slippery.
into first.
It's more
Yes.
like sliding out at first. Right now. But no, there's a lot in the rundown, especially with James Gunn's big announcement of Chapter 1 of the DCU. I can't wait.
Oh, yes. And first, today, I would like to start with a shout out and a happy birthday to Big Keith, who has done some reviews for Codex on our Discord.
Yes.
Hope you have a great happy birthday with your family. And also to one of my best friends, Dan, happy birthday, who's been watching the Codex podcast from episode 1 and hasn't missed an episode since.
Ooh.
Happy birthday.
I feel like
Dan.
we need to have him on and quiz him on.
We should. I think he'll do
What
pretty good.
happened in episode 27 at 4 minutes and 36 seconds in? Do
You may
know?
get it. Dan, may you have a gorgeous woman randomly come up to you today and say, "Hey, how cool, tough guy. Let's go to your room and celebrate your birthday."
Can I say that and him pretend it's a hot, beautiful, gorgeous woman?
Oh, you got the hair for it.
That would actually be safer, Tim, because actually, anybody watching, if a random woman comes up to you and says something like that, she's probably setting you up, and you're probably going to be robbed. So be safe out there. But yeah,
Or
happy
touched
birthday.
inappropriately by another person.
Yes. So happy birthday, guys. Yes, we have
Sonny's
a
only
lot
had it
going on.
happen 3 times.
I live and I learn.
After the 3rd time.
The third time is the charm. But I will get it. I will get us. Today we are reviewing The Flash, Volume 2's number 54. Nobody dies. So today, guys, nobody die on me. Like the
I
episode is called.
will try
no
not.
promises.
No dying.
Got no promises here.
Not yet. After the show, we can do what we want to do. But
You
know,
do what you want to do.
no dying on the
You
show.
want to die after the show? Go for it.
no dying on the show. But I will start us off with the rundown because we have a lot of comic book news, most coming from DC. So here we go with the rundown. Unfortunately, Titans and Doom Patrol has been canceled, but we do have some good news from DC. Yesterday, I was dropping some bombs in the toilet that made my toilet overflow, but yesterday, James Gunn and Peter Safran dropped some huge bombs on DC that is going to make us overflow with some happiness, or at least most of us. And they were talking about Chapter 1 of the DCU's Chapter 1 will be called Gods and Monsters, and they have a lot to talk about with it. They were mentioning a lot. There will be a 7-episode animated series of Creature Commandos. Waller from the Suicide Squad will have a series of her own. On July 11th, 2025, there will be a new Superman movie called Superman Legacy. Also in the works is the Lanterns series, and they have compared it to the show True Detective, which makes me believe it's going to be like a miniseries, and I'm going to guess it's going to be about a different Lantern each season or a different story. Also, The Authority is having a movie, and the characters in there have been compared to Jack Nicholson's character in A Few Good Men. Also, for those Wonder Woman fans, Wonder Woman is set to have a prequel series called Paradise Lost, and they're comparing that to Game of Thrones. I really wonder how
In
much
Westeros.
they can compare. Yeah, are they going to be killing characters off, or is it just to kind of get us to watch and get us excited? But if that doesn't get you excited, maybe you're a Batman fan, and Batman and Damian Wayne will be introduced to the DCU in The Brave and the Bold. But if you're like, what happened to Pattinson? What about Robert Pattinson?
Don't
as
worry, he's an
Batman?
Elseworld character.
Yes, he is an Elseworld character, and he will be in the Batman Part 2, which is set to be released all the way in October 3rd, 2025. And another series that's set to come out from HBO Max is Booster Gold. And another movie set to come out is Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And that movie, they said, is getting cues from the Tom King miniseries.
Yes.
And Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, will wrap up with a monster of its own with the horror movie of Swamp Thing.
Correction, Sonny. That is that is only a portion of chapter 1.
Which is the other, or have they not mentioned
All
it
of
yet?
it. No, he
they
hasn't
haven't
released.
talked about it. Today was there was news released about Jason Momoa having the third Aquaman movie now. So that's going to tie in somehow. Because what's supposed to happen is Flash supposed to reset everything again and hopefully just not ever be the Flash again. And then move forward. So I mean, I'm excited for
Yes,
this
so
news.
they're-
I'm excited about what the landscape looks like. I'm actually happy that they have like continuity base and how can I put it? Having the continuity behind it and also having a plan.
Structure.
Yeah, like a good foundation. It's weird hearing
Mhm.
DC say, "Hey, we got a foundation. Let's build on
Yeah.
it."
But that's not all that DC had going on. Yesterday, DC released DC Power, a celebration #1, and that is set to focus on the characters of color and the artists. It will be a comic with short stories with with artists of color and writers of color, and one of those artists is the Codex Station's very own friend Daryl Banks, who will be on
Yes, he
top of
is.
that. So that already came out yesterday. The new Titan series is set to lead the Dawn of DC initiative, and it's set to have the writer Tom Taylor and the artist Nicola Scott, and that is set to start coming out in May. That's when the Titans will be pretty much leading the DC. And speaking of DC, we saw the second trailer for Shazam: Fury of the Gods. That's set to come out March 17th. And then there was a show that we thought was going to be canceled. We pretty much pooped on it, and then we said, "Oh, I think it's canceled." And now it turns out that Gotham Knights is not canceled. I'm sure there's a small handful of people that are excited for it. I don't know where they are, but hey,
I don't know how in the
it's
world the
still set
DC
to come
right
out.
now they were like, "This is a good idea."
Yeah, let's get rid of Titans and Doom Patrol, but let's keep Gotham Knights.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, I understand, but go on. I'll explain my reasoning in a minute.
No problem. And then we move on to Marvel, and that goes on with the X-Men. For the past 2 years, fans have gotten a chance to vote on who would be members of the X-Men. In 2021, Polaris was voted to join the X-Men, and then she did. Last year, it was Firestar who won the voting, and this year, the voting is between Cannonball, Dazzler, Jubilee, Frenzy, Prodigy, and Juggernaut. And voting
Isn't
for that,
Jubilee already an X-Men character?
maybe she's out for right now. So I always think of her as an X-Men, so
Like,
maybe she's out for the moment.
yeah, she's like, I'm a vampire now.
She's
Like, okay.
retired.
Yeah. So voting for that ends February 3rd. So you only have a couple more days to vote. And you can vote once a day. And then, like a super pro, I'm going to throw the ball over to Tim. He's going to take it. Me and Jamie are going to block him for this one. And Tim, like NFL Super Pro, is going to take this one for the touchdown and give us some updates on Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, so
And on the news that we actually want to talk about during the episode.
Okay, so Jamie, you were saying about
so anyways, yeah, so we talked about this a little while ago. Jamie, if you cut me out, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But anyways,
Cry?
probably.
Me too.
Anyways, we talked about this a little while ago about Dungeons and Dragons, which is owned by Wizards of the Coast, which is owned by Hasbro, coming out with the OGL 2.0 license, effectively wiping out people creating their own worlds based off of the rule system that Dungeons and Dragons uses. Now, it only goes into effect, or at least at the time when people started making 75,000 or more in revenue for that. But there was such huge backlash having to do with that, and companies like Critical Role, which have their own YouTube channel through Geek and Sundry and things like that, and they do live streams of their role-playing sessions, plus the show that they have, The Legend of Vox Machina, and The Mighty Nine, which is coming out too, all kinds of other stuff, and Pathfinder, which got its start on Dungeons and Dragons, so on and so forth. All these companies, along with a buttload of fans, 40,000 or more, I believe, dropped their D&D Beyond subscriptions, and that's paid subscriptions, so that hurt the bottom line. But the fans have spoken, and this is from Kyle Brink on the D&D Beyond website. And what they did was they gave the fans an opportunity to give them their feedback. And what it says here is, it says, when you give us playtest feedback, we take it seriously. Already more than 15,000, and this was as of 5 days ago, have filled out the survey. And here's what they said. So going through the bullet points, 88% of people that did the survey did not want to publish their tabletop role-playing content under the new OGL license. 90% would have to change some aspect of their business to accommodate that new license. 89% are dissatisfied with deauthorizing the original OGL, which has basically stood since the beginning. 86% are dissatisfied with the draft policy for VTT, and 62% are satisfied with including systems content in Creative Commons, and the majority of those who were dissatisfied asked for more content in Creative Commons. So basically, what Facebook's, you jerk.
Sorry, Sonny messaged me about something and it I accidentally hit the button. I won't happen again.
Oh, I'm sure. But anyways, basically what this means is that see, now I lost my train of thought. Let me catch it again. What it means is that we fought a dragon and we won. We basically said that this is something we don't want. We want to be able to create our own worlds and have access to our things that we create, and using your role-playing system as a base for that. And we don't want you to take that away from us. And it's a big, huge victory against a major corporation.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Like, if you're not listened to by the consumer, then you really shouldn't be in the business to be doing that.
That's right.
You know, like it goes with everything else too. I know, especially with I don't think we ever talked about it, but DC Infinite app, the one where you can read the comics digitally. For those that don't know, we use it because we're always on the go. They came out with a new subscription where you get the comic. It's like the week of it coming out now.
Brand new issues?
Yes, brand new issues. But the problem is you got to pay extra in order for that to be unlocked as a perk now. And you're like, a lot of the consumers are basically saying like, hey, I already pay for this yearly subscription. Why am I paying another $50 on top of what I'm already paying for the new issues if I already have to wait, the 30 days? And people were, or I think it's like the week after, because they were afraid that the comic shops weren't going to be able to, that basically they thought digital was going to kill the comic shop, and it still hasn't yet. It's like, why would I go to the comic shop if, I can get it on my phone right now, the same day?
I think in that aspect, I would think the percentage of comic readers that are exclusive to digital is so small that it wouldn't affect LCSs in any real shape.
But it would. At that point, the consumer was saying like, we like our physical copies. Like, you don't need it, and why am I going to pay an extra $50 a year when I could spend that on the actual comic?
Exactly.
And support the store. So that's what I was trying to get to.
And Tim, you were talking about fighting dragons, and we saw some fighting dragons in the Shazam trailer, but I saw you give it a thumbs down.
Yeah, I was like very shocked because you were the first one to be like, oh, my kids and me love it.
I'm excited to go see Shazam. I'm going to go see Shazam. That's happening. I'll have my tickets the weekend after it comes out. But the reason for the thumbs down is in the 2.5 minutes that trailer went through. I know the whole plot. I know exactly what's going to happen. I know from start to finish how it's going to go. And that's the end. Yeah, I do. Pretty much. He's going to fight a bunch of characters that don't exist in DC Comics proper. He's going to fight a dragon. Dragon's going to throw him. He's going to yell at the Shazam wizard, and their powers are going to get taken away. And then he's going to get his powers back, fight the dragon, kick the dragon's ass, and beat the non-existent DC characters that are the bad guys, and then he's going to win, and it's going to be over. So there you go. There's your 2.5 hours, guys.
Yeah, there you go. Like not so long ago, I did mention it with the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer. I felt like
we don't take negativity here at the Codex station. So Tim is no longer going to be on the episode with us for the rest of the day. Are you done in your timeout, sir?
No, put me back in the penalty.
Okay.
Perfectly, yeah.
But no,
I do think it still looks interesting though. Like, I'm watching. I'm like, because the first one, I remember I was kind of like, does it seem like is it going to be too childish? And then I did enjoy it. And, a lot of other people that I spoke with too, everyone who was pretty much seeing Shazam has basically said, you know what, I did turn around and really like it. So
Yeah,
Well,
it was
yeah.
I
one
think
of
this
those.
could be a fun movie.
It's gonna be. I think Tim's just being old and showing his age for a change.
No. I
But
like trailers. I enjoy trailers. Trailers get you excited. The whole point of it is to get you excited and hyped for the movie. But when they show all these major things that are taking place in the film, a small portion of me is like, man, that sucks. I wanted to
what if they're
experience that.
pulling a Marvel where the things you're seeing on a trailer ain't actually happening?
I think there's a law going through where they can't do that
Yeah,
anymore.
but they're gonna do it before the law goes through.
That's very true.
false
But I don't
advertising.
know if that applies to the Shazam trailer though.
No, I think it was just Marvel because everyone's tired of Marvel lying.
But Sonny, a lot of people said with the second Quantumania trailer that they were disappointed because it showed a whole ton of the movie.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
I get what
trailer.
you're saying, yeah.
It's gonna do that. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Like, it's not like
Yeah.
89 where Batman were like Keaton, Nicholson, Batman, and that was it.
Right.
Like, we live in a different world now where it's like, if your attention is grabbed within the first minute of this trailer, you might as well, you're gonna watch it.
I'm still a get off my lawn, you damn kids kind of guy when it comes to certain things. So
Like, I didn't, for example, this is not comic related, but trailer for 65. If you guys haven't seen that yet, it's
I
with
haven't.
Adam Driver, the one where they're like,
yes.
it's like Jurassic Park, like space adventure thing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was gonna like that until I watched the entire. I had to watch the entire trailer to understand what was going on. So yeah, I can understand. Even though it told a lot of the movie, like I had to watch the entire trailer in order to be like, yes
Fair
or
enough. I get
no.
that.
Sonny, if you get a chance, watch that trailer. It's called 65.
I will have to
Yeah,
watch
it's good.
I will have to watch it. Yeah, but I do. I know, like Jamie, like you said, we're in a different day and age where the trailers do give a lot away. But I do see what you mean, Tim. Where I don't want so much given away. I thought
Yeah.
Wakanda Forever, their trailer was pretty good. Like they still got you excited to want to go, but they didn't give so much of it away.
They did a really good job with that. And they put a lot of emphasis on the tribute to Chadwick Boseman and things like that, and showed the other things that are important in the movie, but not all the cool scenes and stuff. But let's talk DC for a minute, guys. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah. So real quick, you guys were saying that that there's more to the ones I mentioned. That there's more stuff, just that they
They're
haven't
coming.
announced all of them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely more in the works. It's James Gunn even said himself. I seen something today on Twitter where he's making a vote on if Superman should wear trunks or not. Like that. See, there's more
Wear
to
the
it.
undies over the pants.
Yes, be dyslexic like Jamie. But no, we were talking before on the pre-show, and I had mentioned that it feels like 60% of this is recycled. Now, when I say that, you gotta look at Swamp Thing, for example.
Mm-hmm.
The show was amazing. It got canceled because of something with Texas.
On HBO Max.
No, it was actually on.
Oh, on DC Universe.
Yeah, DC Infinite before
That's
they
right. Yeah.
took it off. It had something to do with taxes. They got rid of it. It was one of the highest rated shows at the time, and they're bringing it back because the fans went yay, and there's no connection between it at all.
Mhm.
The only real connection they had was the Crisis on Infinite Earths thing where they did like the 10-second cameos of all the other worlds, and their universe was in there.
I know this one's set to be a movie. I know.
Yeah, so it's gonna. I can't wait for it. Hopefully, it's Alec Holland. That's what I'm hoping for.
The rumor I've heard with Swamp Thing is James Mangold is in talks to direct.
What do you call it? What's it from? I can't remember.
Like what he's done?
Yeah, the last I forgot what it was. Someone was talking about it, but never mind. But back to what I was saying. But you look at that. You look at Superman Legacy. I don't know what the whole criteria is there. They're using Tom King's way of Supergirl, where it's not even really a Supergirl origin. It's more of like, hey, Krypton didn't explode yet.
James Mangold was the director of Logan.
Yes, that's what it was. Thank you.
Mhm.
And then you got Booster Gold, who I feel like Chris Pratt's just gonna play as Star-Lord, but in the future, that comes back, and he's like, Skeets, I need you, Skeets.
You know who I would like to see as Booster Gold? Zac Efron. I
Good.
think
Okay,
he could
moving
do it.
on.
He's got
No.
a good. He can do comedy.
I
If he's
thought
seen
I
Neighbors.
think he's gonna be Johnny Storm.
Fair enough. That's
Okay.
Marvel, though.
So no, but that's my point. They won't let him contract over. And you see what I'm saying? Like everyone's already like, oh, he's playing him. He's like, no, I'm not. And where's code blinking to everybody? But that comes to where we have Titans and Doom Patrol, where they got canceled.
Mhm.
There was
Even
no
I said
fit.
to Jamie, I'm like, I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, he did.
That's
He
very proud
messaged
of
me
you.
personally, and I was heartbroken at first before they were like, we're gonna announce it here soon, so calm down. Titans, I feel like was a big loss. Doom Patrol was it right there up, kind of close. But the thing is now that I'm looking at it, and they're like, oh, it's gonna be. See, I'm gonna get this out of the way now. I don't think they know what they're doing with Batman.
Like Gunn and Saffron.
Yeah, I don't think
They're
they.
still figuring it
I
out.
don't think they don't have the tools in their hands because the idea of having Damian Wayne is good. Don't get me wrong. We haven't seen Damian on air, like live action. We've seen him in the animated stuff, but never live action. The problem with that is, at that point in time, Bruce Wayne's older.
Right. They
whole
said that we're
thing-
looking at somebody in his mid 40s.
Yes, but James Gunn already said we need younger talent to play these characters, so that way they have longevity for these 10-year ideas that we have. Now, that being said, how old is Dick Grayson and Jason Todd? Or are they even going to be a part of it now because Damian Wayne's going to be the premier Robin? How old
What-
is Tim Drake going to even be mentioned? You got to look at it in that retrospect too, because if they start pulling names like that and they're like, everyone's big fan favorite is Nightwing. They need everyone wants a Nightwing movie. I'm pretty sure Gunn's going to deliver on it. But where does that fall then? If you don't want an old Batman, you need to establish a younger Batman in order to get to this Robin. Now we got a Brave and a Bold with the Damian Wayne, where Batman should be in his mid 40s.
Early to mid 40s.
Yeah, and that shouldn't be the case because if you're doing a 10-year plan, you're not going to have a good Batman. You're going to have Batfleck again.
This is my thoughts on that. So with what James Gunn said in his press release, he said this is the beginning of the larger Bat family, and that says a lot. That includes Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Barbara Gordon, Cassandra Cain, so on and so forth. The way it's looking now, it leads me to believe that Nightwing is already going to be established as Nightwing in the DCU,
And that's what I'm hoping for.
which would also mean that the events of Death in the Family have already taken place, and Tim Drake has already been Robin.
But that's my point, is that we already had that established with the Snyder stuff.
right.
But we want to stray away from that, but we're going to do it again.
But if you look at it, he said that he wants things to be connected through television, film, animation, and games. So to fill in those gaps, and this again is all speculation, guys, to all you watching, to fill in those gaps, one thing he could do is make those pieces of unknown history, to us at least at this point, animated films.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but the whole concept of, and that's what I'm just saying, it's the Batman aspect of it. It isn't the rest, because the rest seems like he's kind of got an idea. With the whole Batman side of it, they just basically recycled everything that the Snyderverse had, but instead of having a Robin, they got one, and they're using Damian Wayne, but everything's already predetermined as far as the rest of the lore. Like it, to me, that's like saying basically, we're bringing back Keaton and we're gonna have him fight Nicholson live on screen, but it's not gonna be them. It's gonna be CGI versions of them.
I think later in the year we'll get more information as it goes on. I'm
just saying, if it's not
barely a straw foundation at this point.
If it's not Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles playing Nightwing and Jason Todd. I don't want it.
Jamie will riot.
Oh, I'm gonna throw my headband in upsetness.
Playing Red Hood is Jared Leto.
Oh, I would
Oh!
never watch another DC movie again.
Hey,
I would.
did you like Tron? Because he's going to be in Tron 3.
I
So
hated Tron, and I hated it even more.
there you go.
Jeff Bridges, eat your heart out. But yes, no. Other than
So
that,
much
yeah.
coming up, yeah. And even to this year, I forget that they're not. Yeah, I forget that the Flash is coming up soon. Like, Shazam obviously is coming out next month in March, and then Flash right now it's set to be in June, and then Blue Beetle in August.
Yeah, and they said that they're their own movies, so
Yeah.
they can connect easier.
Yeah.
So
And that's a good thing, I guess, because I mean the Snyderverse kind of was finished, with
it's still not finished. They're trying to get it on Netflix.
it's not going to happen. All you Snyder dude bros need to go.
Oh, we're back to the dude bros. I love it.
I can't stand
Snyder
them.
dude bros.
Guys, the Snyderverse is toast. It is as dead as DC 5G. So come to terms with that.
Poor Dan Didio.
And as soon as you can move on. You can still be angry when you go to the theater with Jamie, Sonny, and I to see the new James Gunn stuff.
I'm just letting you know, if Jared Leto's playing Batman or Robin, I'm not going.
That's not going to happen.
Yes, it will.
No.
Red Hood. Hashtag Jared Leto is Red Hood.
If that happens, I will not be in attendance.
Jared Leto starring as Batman, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Damian Wayne.
Also a cameo of Jared Leto as the Riddler.
Oh my God. Coming soon.
Just announced he's also going to be Kyle Rayner in the Green Lantern series.
Also starring Jared Leto as Barbara Gordon.
I mean, I can see it. But you know what the best part about all these A-listers is?
What?
There's F-listers too.
Oh, yes. Good segue, sir. Good segue.
And I guess I missed and didn't give my report on time. But we're going to be going over this guy right here. Sonny, who is this?
That is Gamecock Carlos Cabrera. And before I give any history on him, Jamie, I'll let you guess what you think is this young man's background.
Okay, so
Favorite part.
I had a lot of thinking about this because I've had the last 24 hours of just in bed. So bear with me. So his name is Gamecock. Now, if we break those two words up, okay,
We know what we're getting.
we know what we're going for. Now, he is the great value version of Arcade. Okay. He's not that good. He likes to play a game or two. Trouble, sorry. He throws the pawn pieces at his enemies.
Oh my God.
From the games. Okay. Hence his last name, which kind of goes with the word Richard. He's kind of a bad guy and doesn't like too many people. So he's
does he come up short in a lot of things?
Yes, very,
Okay.
very, very, just like the rest of us. So in his start off of what he is, he got these powers based on a bad game of Monopoly with his family.
What in the hell am I hearing right now?
And
when he lost, he's throwing the thimble at him, all this. But in the loss, he had to dress up like a rooster. There was a bet in the family, had to dress up like it, and now he's projecting his ways as Gamecock to the rest of the world.
Who would write this magical story?
Okay, Jamie, ready to hear the real thing about?
Yeah, he was in a rooster pen and like got touched by a rooster. I don't know.
Well, he was actually in a battle before. He was in Manjapor's Bloodsport, where he fought Puma and almost was murdered, or he was thought dead. But that was later. So before, when we start off, Gamecock was created by Steve Englehart and Frank Robbins. His first appearance was in Captain America 183. October of 1974. So this character's been around almost 50 years.
Oh my god!
But he hasn't appeared much. He is known as a villain of Captain America's, barely. And then somehow during
Gamecock, really? Do we have to go through this again today?
Yeah. During the Scourge of the Underworld, where many of Captain America's villains were being killed, somehow Gamecock survived and lived. But then, yeah, like I said, in Mandrapore's Bloodsport, he was almost killed by Puma. He was brought back. He was later seen that he was not dead when he joined the New Pride, but he was only undercover because the police were using it as leverage in a custody battle for his daughter in exchange for his cooperation. And yeah, he doesn't have much else to go on. He's not a character who appears much. And Jamie, you do have some more pictures.
Yes, I do.
If you want to see, yeah, just to see what people think of him.
Another classic.
There he is, dressed as a rooster. Yeah, he has the orange underwear over it. And look, I like this one. The police say freeze. The police say freeze, Rooster Man, and he says Gamecock.
Wow.
I wonder if that's how his voice is too. Gamecock. All right.
Yeah, well, he's definitely not been in any live action movies, and I don't think he will be. in anything.
Jared Leto is Gamecock.
Yeah. So
this video's gonna get taken down for saying Gamecock too many times.
Algorithm, it has nothing to do with phallic symbols or cucumbers dressed in whatever. This has to do with roosters, ROOSTERS's.
Yeah,
not COCKs.
Yeah, get your heads out of the gutters. Episode 69
Right?
is next week.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
68 is Gamecock Appreciation Day.
Yeah, and now we can appreciate enough of how bad this character is. Now we finally did get him. It seemed like each week something was happening, but now we got him, and we've gone over him, we've guessed about him. But do you guys think he can make it out of the F list?
Absolutely not.
I mean, if the eraser can, I have more than enough hope.
I think this character is done.
Spider-Man couldn't take him seriously. He'd be laughing the whole time, kicking the crap out of him from panel to panel. Daredevil would be doing the same. Captain America, I think, would pop him with the shield once and be like, seriously, dude, you need
again.
Yeah, you need to think about doing something else with your life. I'm not beating you up on purpose.
Do you like when I do that? You think I like doing this to you?
Beating up a guy dressed as a rooster.
It reminds me of that scene in Watchmen, at least from the movie, with the one crazy villain that chased around Silk Spectre and Night Owl all the time and said, punish me, and then meets up with Rorschach and he drops him down an elevator shaft. That's what would happen if he ran into Wolverine. I got you now. Gamecock's got you.
Oh, man.
I don't know about that.
Gamecock versus Wolverine or the Punisher. But I think the only thing that can possibly move Gamecock a little forward, I still don't think he gets out of the F list, but is if you used him in like a more comedy-based comic, like a Deadpool. Because, Deadpool could laugh and you could have good laughs, but you can't use this character
what if it's
in
a team
anything
up?
serious. Yeah,
Deadpool and Gamecock?
Yeah.
GamePool.
GamePool. DeadCock.
There we go. I think we may have our episode name.
I'm writing that down.
All right.
All in one word, Tim, so we don't get banned.
Yes, it's got to be one conjunction word. But guys,
not two.
I do got a question. Do you know where we can get comics for discounted price and great shipping?
Please tell me, please. Pretty please.
Better yet, I'm gonna show you right now. Everyone, if you're anything like me, you love comics, but you also love a good deal. And our friends over at Heroscornercomics have just the deal for you. From exclusives to back issues, graded slabs, current issues, and even set up a subscription with them. And all you have to do is use the keyword codex at checkout. That's CODEX, and you will save 20% store-wide. So don't miss out.
That's so good.
Yes. I am going to be getting my $100 surprise bundle here very, very soon. I can't wait to see what's in there.
Nice.
For anyone that needs to know any more about it and how they ship and how good they ship, you can check out sales channel at Sales Comic Corner. We had a 33-pound box of them, full of just Venom issues for some reason. I don't know, but
Only 300 of each issue. Come on.
Right.
yeah, only 387 of them. But yeah, go check that out. Go buy from Heroes Corner Comics. They're great people. They'll talk to you. They'll let you know what's up. Just definitely hit them up. Let them know what you're looking for, and they will help you. So do that now or after this episode. Doesn't matter. Just do it.
Yeah, check them out. Get yourself some good old comic books from there. And
Yes.
now it is time for Do You Know?
Ooh, and it looks like I'm starting us off today.
That's right. It goes from the youngest to the oldest.
Ooh, Tim's old.
Not that old.
Okay, so we're gonna start this off because
Older.
I think I didn't get to watch the Do You Know last week, and I was gonna use questions from what I had because I didn't know if you guys used them, so I had to come up with new ones. But we're gonna stick with a little bit of Marvel here because I got one from each category. So I got independent, a Marvel, and a DC for you guys this week. So we all loved the Immortal Hulk run, right? And what it transpired over the course of the time it had. But
That art was amazing.
yes, but do you know who originally killed Bruce Banner before he turned into the Immortal Hulk?
I will say the leader.
Professor X.
Both of you are wrong. It was actually Hawkeye.
Ooh.
It was in Avengers, I think it was 678 or 676. One of those two. But they had it where Bruce had told Hawkeye, like, I need someone to take me out silently. I need to not know when it's coming. You're the only guy that can do that because if I turn into this guy again, bad things are going to happen. And right before he was about to turn, you just see an arrow go right through Bruce's head.
Wow.
And then a couple issues later, they resurrect the Hulk, and that's where the Immortal Hulk started. But Hawkeye is the, and there's a series, if you guys are interested in reading it, it's called Occupy Avengers, where Hawkeye's the leader, but he talks about what happened after the fact that he killed Bruce Banner and how basically his life's changed since.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting, yeah. All right, guys, now it is my turn. Some of our comic news talked about how Titans is going to be taking the lead. So that made me want to ask you guys this next question. Do you know what year was the first Teen Titans comic released?
We have talked about this before. 1963.
My Price was right it and go 64 just like Tim does. Because I don't hang on. The first, are we Titans, New Teen Titans, or the first time the Titans show up on screen or in a comic?
The first time Teen Titans had their own comic.
Yeah, I'm going to say 63.
Is it a cameo in another comic, or is this the first legitimate actual comic?
The first legitimate Teen Titans #1 of the original series.
'81.
And
the original, Tim, you were 3 years off.
God almighty.
Teen Titans #1 came out in 1966, and the title of the comic was The Beast God of Zocatan.
Oh. 66.
Fair enough.
Got it.
Yeah.
1966. And now, Tim.
All right.
Your question.
So
the oldest can now go.
That's right. That's right. Save the best for last. I understand. So let's talk about originals and then second Earths. Earth 1, Earth 2, or 3. You know, DC had a bunch of those Earths before the first major crisis event. So going all the way back, what is the first appearance of Earth 1 Superman?
The first appearance of Earth 1 Superman?
1 Superman.
So you're...
And if you watched any codex videos that came out today, that'll give you a hint. pretty big one.
So I'm just gonna have to say Action Comics #1.
Yeah.
You are both full of less action, but you should have more fun. More Fun Comics number 101 is the first appearance of Superboy, who becomes Earth 1 Superman, and that came out in January of 1945.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, because I'm thinking like Prime, but then Superboy Prime became like Superman for a point, and then I was like, I'm not playing this game, so I went
Earth
with
1.
Yeah.
There you go. And if you
What's
want,
Earth
Thing
2's
threw me
name?
off.
and if you watched
Wait.
Wes's video, what was the name of the comic shop? More
More
Fun
Fun Comics.
Comics.
More Fun.
Bingo.
I know what the name was. I watched it. I
Jamie,
watched this the
yes.
entire time, Wes. You got to go like this.
Yeah, that comic shop had a lot of good comics. I'm like, why don't I see all those X-Men comics when I go to the comic stores?
Because you're in Chicago, where it's literally just graham cracker, and it's the word, not the good graham cracker.
I love the graham cracker I have here. That's way better than all the other comic stores. I'm like, what is this store? And they're like, oh, we got a few. And there's like, oh,
Yeah,
10
I-
comics.
I've got Flash from 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's golden age. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So it's Year of the Headband, and right now I'm rocking the White Ranger headband. But guys, do you know? Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can give me the episode number, or you can give me the episode name. What episode was the Green Ranger's debut episode?
Oh, jeez.
Name.
Wasn't it like it was in the first season?
Okay.
It was
I
a
wanna-
five-parter, I think.
I want to say I want to say episode 5. Episode 5. That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to say The Power of the Green, Part 1.
Do you have an episode number, possibly, Sonny?
I'll say 17.
Okay, so Tim, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Sonny, the reason I asked you for an episode number is because you were completely wrong on the name, but you got the episode number right.
Are you kidding?
Wow.
The episode is season 1, episode 17, Green with Evil, part 1, Out of Control.
You had some of it in there, Sonny. Some of it. Good job, sir. Good job.
So I give Sonny that point because I just
Oh,
saw in
yeah.
his eyes he's like 17, and I was like, okay.
Oh,
Wow.
that's wonderful.
This may not be the last episode or episode 69, but I got lucky there.
Yeah. The one time it got flipped around and it's not even episode 69.
All right, guys. We'll control ourselves and settle down.
No.
Take some water. I always got to stay hydrated.
Can you?
I was
can
gonna say real fast before we keep going, it's been bothering me. Is that a Chicago Bulls like sweater?
Yeah. It's a
Oh,
bullseye,
okay.
yep.
I was just making sure.
Yes, it is.
I was like, why you got an ugly Christmas sweater on? And then you went up and I saw Chicago, and I was like, oh, it's a Bulls sweater. Got it.
Okay, so now we are on to today. We are reviewing the Flash 54. Nobody dies. Good so far. Nobody has died in our episode today. Okay, so my question for you, almost there, but not yet. Hang on a little longer,
I
guys.
had a heart flutter. Sorry.
My life is a flutter.
So, guys, this goes with the comic we're reading today and catching little things. So, my question for you guys with the Flash 54: do you know which U.S. president was mentioned in the Flash 54? Nobody dies.
I actually do, but I'll let Jamie go first.
I know who it is. I read it last night or this morning, whatever it was. Give me a second.
I'm ready to mark my point down. Is that Jamie texting you for the answer?
It was Amazon letting me know that I just got awarded some money. Not bad seeing the text that says you were awarded $10 and something to your digital account.
Hey, Sonny,
Okay.
what's the answer?
I don't remember.
I'll give you a
I
hint.
remember
He's a white president. He was white.
that narrows it down.
Caucasian.
Takes one away.
Barack Obama. No, no I don't know, Clinton.
It's Jimmy Carter.
Tim is correct. Yes, they do mention the 39th president, Jimmy Carter. And then a little fun fact is that on DC fandom, if you look up Jimmy Carter, it says his special abilities, like where it talks about all the superheroes and their powers. It says for Jimmy Carter, special ability, political science.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, so
and
Jimmy
building
Carter
Habitat for Humanity homes, which he still does to this day.
Yes.
Very good.
All right.
Now, Tim, you got your point. It's your turn to ask us a question.
So, leaders in comic books, let's go with another one, an all-important one, and this has to do with the announcement that James Gunn made about Amanda Waller. She's getting her own show. So, do you know the first appearance of Amanda Waller?
I would say the Suicide Squad #1.
I don't know. I don't think it's that. Hang on. Give me a second. I'm sorry.
I'll give you two.
I got a sick brain right now. Batman. No, Detective Comics. I don't know. 637.
You are both incorrect. Her first appearance was in the miniseries event Legends, #1 in 1986.
I knew it wasn't the Suicide Squad, so I had to come up with something creative.
So there you go.
Well,
Speaking of
you tried.
Batman and Detective Comics, we all know he has a full rogues gallery that, bar none, no one else can touch. Maybe Spider-Man, but Spider-Man goes thwip, not touchy.
The eraser.
Yes, it is actually the answer. Good job, Sonny. No,
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do you know what is the first appearance of Killer Moth?
Ooh.
Detective Comics 330.
I love the confidence you have sometimes, Sonny. You're just like, Detective Comics.
He's looking up at that
330.
board.
I know, it's bothering me. I swear to God, he's got like DC, Marvel, and then it's subcategorized.
Every possible character he could look at.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a Price is Right and say Detective Comics 430.
You'd both be wrong.
Oh, okay.
It is straight out of Batman, the solo series.
Straight out of Batman.
63, way back then.
You said it was Batman 63?
Yep.
Okay.
Batman 63. That's when the first appearance of Killer Moth was actually prominent. I mean, there's only, I'm trying to think. There's been a few instances. I don't understand why. Maybe it's a cameo first appearance thing, like we kind of talked about last time. But there's been, after looking at a few first appearances, it's like 2 comics. It'd be like 15 and 16, and I'm like, why is it that the first appearance? It's not cameo to first appearance. It's one or the other. But sorry, tangent. I bet. Go ahead.
We did the same thing with MODOK the other week, right? Isn't his?
That's what I was saying. It was 63, 64.
Okay. When you first said straight out of Batman, I'm like, is there really a comic called Straight Out of Batman?
Yeah, straight out of Batman.
Yeah, okay. So it's just Batman 63. All right, now on to my last question of the day. And it goes with The Flash Volume 2, since we are reading a story from there. So, do you know what year did The Flash Volume 2 end?
$2011.
What year did The Flash Volume 2 end?
Yes. What year?
I would want to say 2011 too, because I think Volume 3 is New 52.
So both going with 2011?
Yeah.
It ended in 2009.
Ooh.
2 years off.
Yep. Flash Volume 2 went from June 1987 to February 2009.
Wow.
What was the beginning?
1987.
Jeez. That's a long time, boys.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, that's like dog years for Tim, but
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
you grew up during the era.
7 times 43. Anybody know the answer to that? Go ahead and comment that down below. That's how old I am in dog years. Anyways, Booster Gold. Yeah, he's coming to the DCU. James Gunn is bringing him in. It's going to be awesome. Jamie thinks it's going to be Chris Pratt. I'd like to see Zac Efron. But, gentlemen, do you know what Booster Gold's first appearance was?
Yes.
I would say Booster Gold, number 1.
Booster Gold number 1.
Do you know the year?
1990.
1986, I'll say. What were you going to say, Jamie? I'll say 86 for me.
Jamie,
I
you
said-
said 90?
I said 90.
Okay. Well, you guys got the answer right. It is Booster Gold number 1. But Jamie,
93.
you were incorrect on the year. Sonny, you are correct on the year.
Oh.
It is 1986.
I
But you
wanna
get
hear
you
this.
get your point. You get your
Okay.
point.
We still
Alright.
get a point.
But Sonny wins today with 2. Jamie, you got 1 and I got 1. So there you go. Do you know?
Luck was definitely on my side with that 17.
Yes. God, if you wouldn't have got this, because dude, you like looked off like Rain Man for a second. It was like 17.
Let's see what the numbers. Where's it coming?
I swear to God, if
Winger
you got
7
17,
Winger
written down on his
17.
wall
Okay, you guessed it.
God.
On Winger Greatest Hits, the song 17 is number 17. So I'm just going to guess 17. There we go.
She's only 7. Sorry.
We were talking about Winger last week.
Yeah, last week. Tim even said a 60-year-old man saying she's only 17.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
Can't
now
do
he could say she's only 70.
Yeah.
There you go.
Daddy said she's too old, but she's young enough for me.
Not too geriatric for me.
There you go.
Sounds like Tim's life.
She's falling and she can't get up.
Oh my God.
Life alert. Life alert.
Oh.
She's only 70. Okay.
Guys, that wraps up Do You Know? Next week we will
Right.
have another round of Do You Know? And now we move on to our review. But as usual, I will reintroduce ourselves for editing purposes. So here we go with hello everyone. Welcome to another Codex review. I am Sunny. I'm joined by Jamie and Tim. And today we are reviewing The Flash, Volume 2's issue number 54, Nobody Dies. And as usual, Tim will start us off with the credits.
That is right. Flash number 54 starts us off with writing goes to William Mesner Loebs. Artwork to Greg LaRoche, I believe is how you pronounce that. If I'm wrong, let me know. Inks go to Jose Marzan. Colors to Glenn Whitmore. And letters to Tim Harkins.
Okay, and I will start us through this story. And it's a quick one. I will get us through this in a flash. So we have the Wally West Flash, and he is, as soon as it begins, he's taking care of an issue that's dealing with the member of the Altered Strain, Quentin Eastley, who has a man hostage, and the Flash quickly takes us through it. He goes around, he disarms him, he beats this man, but he throws his hostage out the window. The Flash makes a save, saves him, like I said, punches Quentin, defeats him, and that basically takes care of that. Then now we see the Flash is on a plane, and he meets a stewardess named Julie Myers. They flirt a little bit. She's, making some jokes and tells how she's a comedian. She has a kid. And then what happens when the Flash uses the restroom? Terrorists take over. They shoot at him. But of course, they're not going to be able to stop the Flash. They're, almost F-lister villains. So they are no match for the Flash. He stops them, but the lady shoots up in the air, and then suddenly this nice young lady that the Flash just met named Julie Myers flies. She goes out of the airplane. The Flash says, everybody basically here is safe. Yeah, she's probably dead, but the Flash has a rule, and that is that nobody dies. So the Flash goes out of the plane, even though he says this is stupid. He jumps out of the plane to save Julie Myers, and he goes to make one of the coolest saves, I think, in the Flash's history. And that basically is the story of Nobody Dies. For me, I think this was a cool, quick issue. Like I said, you get through it pretty fast. There isn't much, it isn't too deep. It's basically the Flash saving, but the big thing is it shows how much life means to the Flash and everyone. each person. He wants to save. He's willing to jump out of a window, like to save the man in the beginning, and he's willing to jump out of a plane to save Julie Myers, a woman he just met. So I think it's a very interesting story. I think it's pretty quick. I don't think it is the greatest Flash story. There's no big supervillains, anything like that. It just kind of gets you through it. You get through it in a flash. I say it's good all around. Good quick story, good art. So for me, I give The Flash number 54, Nobody Dies, a 7 out of 10.
That's not bad.
Whichever one of you guys wants to go next.
Jamie, you want to take it or you want me to go?
I think you should go first.
Okay. I think that this was a nice, solid issue. I had a good amount of time reading it. I had a lot of fun. It was well paced. It wasn't super fast, but I mean, it was intense at moments, nail biting in others. Like I said, had a lot of fun reading this. The writing was solid. Artwork could have been a little more consistent, in my opinion, but it isn't anything that pulls me away from the book. Not much more that I really can say about it. It's a quick, it's like Sonny said, it's a quick read, but you know, when you read it, it's nice and evenly paced. Artwork gets a 7, writing gets an 8. Overall, this gets a great, well-earned 7.5 out of 10 from me.
Okay. Who picked this one?
I did. This was off of the list.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't trust that list anymore.
You said pick something off the list,
yeah,
so I did. And this was it.
I thought that they were some of the greatest, and I hated this issue.
Whoa.
And I don't say that lightly because I'm a big DC fan, but this is probably the worst Flash issue I have ever read.
Really?
You're not a fan of Quentin Eastley?
Well, it's not even that. We had the do you know question about the president, and the whole thing that's going through my head this whole issue is how the Flash is cramping the entire issue
during the rescue.
It was during the rescue. It was during the beginning. He's like, "Oh, I cramped. Oh, my legs. Oh, my arms. Oh, my back." Like, you're the Flash? Why are you cramping? Like, that makes zero sense unless. And then my favorite part in the story is when he got gas grenaded, and he's like, I'm gonna figure this out, and then he doesn't figure it out.
You made a good point there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just abandoned.
He just kind of jumped out the window.
Yes.
Grabbed the guy and then came back in, and that
cool.
was the end of that.
So the way of figuring out is like.
Well, now we know.
That's how Flash deals with gas grenades, right there.
Deuces. The story had no connection throughout the whole thing. First, okay, I get it. Nobody died in the issue, but the whole time he's in the plane, he says she's dead. It's cool. She's dead. I can't do anything about it. She's dead. She's dead. Whoop.
But again, maybe she's not.
And he jumps out, and then the whole time he's falling, my legs are cramping. Like, again, you're cramping up again. You're a superhero, and you're cramping up
12 hours.
It doesn't matter. He was cramping up when he
peanuts.
ate. Yeah, she gave him peanuts. He's fine. And then the whole time of him falling was like a sequence of like, okay, we're gonna fall, but like, do I just kick my legs a little bit faster? Okay, now I'm cramping again. What?
I am curious about your grade.
Like, how? And then he finally hits the bottom, and he's like, "Oh my god, a tree!" Like Sonny Bono. It was like, dude, calm down. You're gonna be fine. Like, you're the Flash. Run up it. Figure something out. Like, you can match the speed of. We've seen you do it. Why is it so hard to do this? And then they're both laying there, and she's like, "Peanuts." What?
The end.
Oh my god. Don't even get me started on how the Flash looked. It looked like someone just took a marker and went like this throughout the whole thing. For some reason, his Flash ears were out to here.
Oh, and that, yeah.
And then, like, his suit at the beginning, the fucking lightning bolt symbol went to his nose, to his belly button. It made no sense. I don't know if the people working on this ever saw the Flash or wrote an issue of the Flash or had any Flash knowledge prior, but I'm giving this a literal 2.5 out of 10.
Overall?
Overall, I can't.
Ooh.
I really. This is lower than Man of War.
I think this is a new record for the Codex station.
I would never recommend this
Youngblood
issue.
didn't even get that low.
I would never recommend this issue to anybody.
Wow.
Like, this is, to me, this is what the DCEU turned into.
You could just skip this one.
You know what I think will happen with the save at the end? I could almost see that being in the movie. Like, I could see that scene like being in one of the Flash movies.
Yeah, and now we see the real footage of him getting taken away in handcuffs.
Sonny, you and I came away from this book kind of the same, and Jamie's just like, what in the bleep and bleep is this?
It wasn't a Flash book. It wasn't. What part of this, to you guys, what part of this whole book was like, this is the Flash?
I'm going to look and see if that was like a guest artist or guest writer or something like that. Because remember, they did that a lot back then.
Yeah, they
between major storylines and stuff. They would
when they had a filler, they'd throw someone in just to see how they did. And obviously, this was not a good job.
I think he has worked on the Flash, and I think he worked on Superman before. I'm not too sure how many issues, but just off the top of my head, yeah.
Is that why you mentioned Superman?
Yeah, but there was no suit. Really, there was little to no super speed. If that was the case of them trying to do it and not make the Flash, then that makes no sense to me. You're not like
how long had
my favorite part, and I'm sorry, I just remembered.
No, go ahead.
Is the whole time. Okay, so while he's in the bathroom, comes out as the Flash, right? Starts beating the crap out of the chick that was hitting on him. That's the villain.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, the Flash is in the bathroom. Never once did they mention how they knew he was the Flash.
Right. That bugged me too. Sonny,
okay?
I'm changing my grade.
Secondly, he's standing there and he's like, oh, there's a breeze. I don't understand. Why is there a breeze? The plane is missing its whole plane. They show the next panel and the whole top of the plane is missing. He felt a breeze. And didn't understand why the plane was missing.
This guy is a regular writer for the Flash. He wrote 53, wrote 55.
If he sees this, we'll make sure to only show him the first part of our review.
No, show him the whole thing.
Off.
So he's been there for a little while. He's on 56. Just keeps going. I think he was the regular Flash writer at that time.
You know what? He might have been fantastic after this, but this was probably the worst Flash issue. I get it. Nobody died. Cool. But you killed a consumer with this issue. Like,
killed Jamie's spirit with this one.
Oh my God.
It died reading this. My soul left my body.
Down the crapper.
So what'd you change your rating to, Tim?
Nothing yet. I don't know. I got to reevaluate everything now. I'm sticking with 7.5. I'm happy with that.
I don't know how. It's each their own. But in this case, I think you guys read something just because it said the Flash on it, when really it was literally like, oh, guys, I got the Bolt. It's the great value version of the Flash.
My knowledge of the Flash is significantly less than yours, so maybe that's why it didn't affect me as much. I mean, there were those parts, right, where
it's not even. You could literally see one episode of what the Flash is on the CW, grasp a concept, and run with it. But this made you think, what's going on?
But like with the gas grenade, that kind of bugged me because nothing ever happened with that afterwards. Like he ran back up the building, dropped the guy off, and did whatever he did. And then in the plane, I did like the part where they shot the bathroom up while he was in there. I thought that was kind of cool. But like you said, like they said, the Flash is in there. How the hell did they know he was the Flash? They never explained that. They never explained. And I think I even said that out loud. I was like, how do they know? And again, the part with the wind and all that stuff. Why is it windy in here? I kind of got that right off the bat.
If you
because
walk
he wasn't
out of a
paying
plane,
attention to what was going on, and then all of a sudden there's a big hole.
Doesn't matter if you got super speed or not. If you walk out of a plane and you look and you just look and it's missing,
Yeah.
that's not why you shouldn't be like, it's kind of breezy.
It's very true, but I took a lighthearted approach to this issue. I had a good time reading it.
Oh, I was critical. I was
Same
sick.
with me.
I can
yeah.
see.
I guess
I had nothing better to do but
superheroes
to rip
can't
this.
get cramps.
It seems like every
It-
time I pick something off a greatest reads list, Jamie is like, "This is horrible."
Man of War is not on any greatest reads list.
The Wonder Woman issue that I chose, you absolutely hated that.
I didn't give it that low of a grade though. I thought it was okay. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever read. Now
It didn't. I think you were middle of the road with
I think
that.
it was a
though.
6.
I'll have
that
to go
one.
back and
Yeah.
look.
But the point being,
Yeah.
this is I don't like at
Opinions,
a 2.5. I'm being generous.
I guess that's your opinion. You know, like I said, it was on a list of what was the list?
The
You guys
greatest
said?
one shot.
100
just-
greatest one shots. Wasn't that it? Like the Killing
20.
Joke is on that list.
20
Killing
greatest
Joke makes
one
most of
shots
them.
and 20 greatest graphic novels.
Right.
Well, so this was a top 20, and yeah, I would say I enjoyed reading. Like I think, like you, Tim, I just had a good, quick, fun time reading it, but it not like, oh, you need to read this. I
But
wouldn't put this
it
on
had
any
the same
list.
on that same list is the Flash issue 0.
Yeah,
so
which
see, I
is
would
an
do it.
amazing read.
Yes. What happened?
Yeah, I don't.
It's a
Yeah, I
good
guess
way.
like I said, just opinions. Even too with lists, sometimes it's a few people who hey,
Subjective.
let's make a list. You know,
Mark
doesn't mean
Waid
everyone's
wrote
gonna agree.
issue 0. That's what happened.
Yeah, Mark Waid wasn't there.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not there for this one. One thing I did like real quick before we wrap this up was when they gave the credits, it wasn't saying artist. It said Free Fall, then it said Gravity, then it said Mask, then it said Screaming. Tim Harkins. It said Buoyancy, and then Parachute.
Yeah, I had
Just
to
give
look
me
it
the
up on
credits.
CLZ for exactly what everybody did.
Yeah, so that made me glad. Yeah, that you you get to do the credits, Tim. Yeah, that was-
Sonny's like, I'm so glad I don't have to do
As soon
this
as I
right
saw
now."
that, I was like, "Come on, really? Okay." So yeah, Sunny 7 out of 10. I give it a 7.5, and Jamie a 2.5 out of 10.
I never want to read something like that again.
Can't guarantee it.
I know.
We'll
I'm
see.
just letting everybody know now.
But I will say that wraps up our review of the Flash 54. Nobody dies, and then now we could say at least we're almost done with this episode. Nobody has died, so I kept my promise, and I can say that next week we have a story that I'm guessing is going to get a higher rating than this, and that is when we will be reviewing Marvel's Tim's pick. Well, I've already started it, and I'm like, yeah. So far, seems like it's going to be a better story. We will see, Tim. I don't want to get too excited too fast, but I'm like,
We're
okay,
It is
I
episode
understand.
69.
now.
Oh yeah, it'll be episode 69. So be prepared
Sunny's big
for
10-inch.
a lot. Yeah. Well, with that, I think I will start wrapping it up and say thank you everybody for watching the Codex podcast, the Codex Station, and these two know how to wrap it all up better than I do. So I just say goodbye, take care, see you on the next episode of the Codex podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you like content like this, long form content that which we give to you several times a week, hit that like, share, subscribe, or follow button. It definitely helps with the algorithm. It lets the YouTube gods and the Twitch demigods know that we deserve to be seen and shown to more people like you. Don't forget, all you got to do is type in the Codex Station on any of your favorite social media platforms. It's the easiest way to find us, and Jamie's going to let you know another cool spot that you can go to check us out, along with taking us out of here and putting us to bed gently, lighting a candle, hopefully a lavender smell. Anyways, my name is
2.5s all around.
My name is Tim. Down below is the immortal Sonny Kruger, and over here is the wonderful J-Dubs Jamie. Go ahead, take us away.
All right. As he said, you guys go to codexstation.com, your one-stop shop for everything Codex. Buy some merch, meet the team, talk to us, let us know what you like, don't like. Find all of our socials because they're all posted down there. You guys can definitely like, share, subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. Like Tim said, if you had not had a chance yet and you didn't do it when I told you to, go check out Heroscornercomics.com for your guys' chance to save some money on some great comics as well. And as always, guys, be kind to one another out there. Never know what anyone's going through, and making someone smile can change the course of their day or life. So always be kind, and we will see you next week for episode 69.
I would like to be. Anyways, elbows
Bye.
down, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodbye.
It'd be